Hello Soul Family, welcome to Alchemy Mystic Healing Messages. Today we are keeping things simple with our first ever Expansive Thinking Thursdays, where we obtain messages from our higher selves. This is going to be a collective message, so it will not be for any specific zodiac sign. This is also a timeless reading, so whenever this message finds you is when you were meant to receive it. Please utilize your discernment and only take the messages that resonate with you. If you are in need of any additional assistance or support on your spiritual healing and or self-improvement journeys, I am also available for distant Reiki Therapy services. If you would like to learn more about Reiki Therapy, how it may benefit you, and details on the services I provide, all of that information can be found on the channel's community tab. If you stick around to the end of the message, I will let you know, excuse me, how you can save 30% on my Renew, Restore, Revitalize 40-minute distant Reiki therapy session. Alright you guys, let's see what kind of healing messages the universe has for you today. We are starting out with the High Priestess, Pisces energy, followed by the Temperance, Sagittarius energy. We have the King of Swords, a lot of people out here, Aquarius energy, and the Four of Swords, Libra energy. This is quite interesting. Air, water, and fire. No earth energy. Alright. With the High Priestess, it says, what secrets wait to be uncovered? Who has the knowledge? Your message here is to look at all the possibilities, then listen to your higher self. The riddle for today is, how do you trust your own intuition? When you ask the right questions, you will find the answer buried in your own heart. Alright, very interesting. Temperance says, what energies in your life require changing? Who is trying to throw you off balance? While you can go with the flow, please examine what needs to be altered. Don't answer one way or the other just yet. Temperate responses change critics into collaborators. Keep calm, think before answering. We have the King of Swords message saying, rule with your head, not with your heart. Others look to you for decisive steps for solving problems. You will have to investigate all sides to learn the truth. Do not let emotions get in your way. You must be a dispassionate judge to show others how it's done. Then we have the Four of Swords, which is saying sometimes the ability to rest seems like a luxury. Make sure you are indulging in the fine art of self-care. Yoga, meditation, walks, reading, do whatever nourishes you. This is a time that calls for a battery recharge. You can do more when you have taken a moment to do less. Alright, so based on what I am getting here, with the High Priestess, she is saying once you have all of the options available, all of the possibilities is what it says, you can now go within to make an assessment with your heart as to what to do, right? Very different from the King of Swords energy. And what's interesting is that it's not Page of Swords energy, which is usually about gathering information. There's a lot of using both sides of the brain type of energy going on here. Strong swords on one side, and even though Temperance is fire, it is still in water. It is an angel, right? So going on to the King of Swords. I feel like the King of Swords, even though it's not the Page of Swords who gathers information, I think they are receiving information that they are needing to discern, to determine, right? It's like the first level of a process. Let's say like a hiring process, and you are the person that's in HR. You are having to be the King of Swords. You are having to be non-judgmental about the situation, but still make judgments. And I hope that makes sense, right? So you are saying, this is the resume Does this person's credentials fit with what we have? Yes, no, and make the decision. Then we are, furthering the assessment, each person going down the line. How many years of experience do they have? Is it a similar type of industry? Things along those lines, right? Making very cut and dry decisions to filter maybe 100 applications down to maybe 5 applications. So I feel like that's what that King of Swords energy is. The Four of Swords is telling me whatever you're about to embark upon, it may not be a hiring process, but the hiring process for a company, which is the example that I'm using right now. Of course, it may not resonate. It can be a process that takes a lot of energy. You want to find the right person. There's a lot of conversations to be had, a lot of scheduling to be implemented. Depending on what other everyday responsibilities you have in place, you may have to move some things around, right? Depends on how many people you are hiring for however many departments, right? All these different conversations that you are needing to have, and being discerning with each one of them, showing your best face with each one of them, being prepared for whatever questions they may have. Things along those lines is what I'm getting. So the Four of Swords is saying you're about to embark upon something that may take more energy than usual. So you're needing to go ahead and rest up so that you have this King of Swords clarity, right? When we go in and we haven't had a good breakfast, some of us who drink coffee, we haven't had our coffee, right? We have other things going on in our world. We may not be able to be the best decision maker. And of course, these are only the initial decisions, but you don't want to look over or overlook a good resume in the context of this situation. Take this message how it applies, right? You don't want to count someone out who could have been a great fit, right? And you may have some leeway for individuals who may not meet all the markers exactly, but there's something about other aspects of their resume that speaks to you and how they may be able to be a good fit for the company with a little more training or something along those lines. So the King of Swords does the first assessment, and then the High Priestess is saying, all right, now that I have 5 resumes from the 100 resumes, I am going to go within to make a decision. Maybe you're not HR in a company. Maybe this is your own company that you are building, and maybe this is the first set of people that you are hiring for your company. And so because your business is like your baby, for many people it is, right? If they're solopreneurs, building something that they put their heart and soul into, that they've made sacrifices for, that they've, had to get their hands dirty for, you're going to say, all right, how do I make this assessment from my heart space? There's going to be thoughts, but how does this person integrate with the culture of the business that I want to build? How are they going to fit with me, right? Maybe you've already done the interviews at the King of Swords level, and maybe now you're assessing the various interactions that you've had with these 5 people. The Temperance is saying, assess their energies at a deeper level. Right? Is there something about the interaction that maybe threw you off balance? And also, what within your business, and I don't know why I'm now shifting this to you, this being your own business, but we had a lot of manifestation messages for the other 2 messages, or we had a lot of manifestation energy for the other 2 messages. So maybe as you manifest and something grows, because it kept saying to dream big, as it grows, you are needing assistance is what I am getting, right? All right. So with Temperance, you're saying, what can maintain balance within the context of this situation? What will allow my business to be sustainable long term, or whatever my situation may be? What kind of load am I needing to take off of my plate that I can have someone else take over that can help to balance out my own energy, so I can be better at managing the situation as opposed to doing the situation, right? And you want to start with the things that are bogging down your energy the most, not the things that you can breeze through quickly, that you can keep as your own responsibilities. If you have a, let's say, budget constraint on where you can allocate funds or hire a person and what kind of skills they need to have, you want to think of the things that take up 5 hours out of your day but don't bring money in, right? That's the first thing that you want to take off of your plate. Things along those lines, right, that don't add value. that's what I have so far. Let's go ahead and get the first ancestor message to see what it has to say. We have the sound of the universe. Let me get a quick drink of water before I go ahead and read this. This card signifies those pivotal moments that transcend belief, remind us of a greater reality, and influence us so that life will never be the same again. It symbolizes the sound of the universe. Having your world shaken up even a little can invite a closer glimpse of the great mystery of life. There are myriad ways to peek behind the veil of the mundane. Ecstatic dance, spiritual exploration, and creative pursuits are just a few. Aim to imbue this awareness in your everyday existence so you can avoid the sudden wake-up calls. Listen for the hidden music, harmony, and wonder of your multidimensional world. Alright, so aside from the scenario that I just provided, it did speaking to peeking behind the veil, which is what the High Priestess does. If we're looking at the High Priestess and the Four of Swords, there may be some need at this time to do some meditation, some prayer, just have some quiet time, some time to reflect, some time to go within, to feel out your current situation, whatever it may be, however this may apply, to understand what may or may not be stable, right? What I'm feeling is like we're needing to prevent a tower moment. So even in a business, a tower moment may be positive, right? Let's say you make t-shirts and every month you don't sell more than 100 t-shirts. You have one social media post, and from this social media post, you now have an order for, let's say 2,000 t-shirts, right? This is a tower moment because what you have built cannot produce at that moment what is needed, right? If there is no preparation. But when you get into this High Priestess energy, through this quiet time, through this meditation, through this prayer, through being able to discern the energies that are not within the 3D, right? Feeling our way through a situation, we're able to get this King of Swords clarity. The King of Swords is also an expert, right? So even if you are an expert lawyer, what probably makes you a great expert lawyer is you're able, if you are, say, a lawyer that goes into the courtroom, you can feel the shift in the judge. You can feel the shift in the energy of the jury. You can feel the shift of the opposing side, whichever side that may be. And that is how you figure out how to navigate that particular situation into your favor. If you are an accountant, if you feel a shift within the business or the business needs or things along those lines, it's always the smaller nuances that makes you an expert. It is always that additional sixth sense that makes you one of the best experts, right? There are companies that do something well, but they aren't good when there is a shift. And there's something that tells me that there are those within this soul family who have this sixth sense, and they need to learn how to integrate it into whatever they are doing on a daily basis, because it has the capacity to set them a step above the rest. It has the ability with this King of Swords for you to be an expert at whatever it is that you do, or to be recognized as an expert. You may be an earth angel, you may be an empath, you may be a healer. My nose is itching like crazy. You may be very intuitive. You may be able to sense things. You may be even able to smell things. I was watching a YouTube short, I want to say not too long ago, maybe within the last 2 weeks, and there were people out there who could smell disease. There was a particular disease that people could detect of the people who had them. I think it was Parkinson's, and even one lady detected someone who was diagnosed years down the line that may be something that you're good at. You may work in a work environment where you may not alchemize energy at a 5D level, but you may literally alchemize energy at a 3D level where you assist with helping people to get better. I know this is not the star card, but you may even be in that environment. Let's say you're not the nurse or the doctor or, a medical practitioner. Give me just a sec. Let me get some water. The fact that my voice just went out makes me feel like you might even be a good advocate. Right? In hospitals, I think they have like patient advocates. And I don't know how it falls into the system. I do have family members who have worked in the medical field. And so I know that this is something that exists, and even in having jobs within the hospital and volunteering in the hospital, I know that this is something that exists. There may be things that if you work within a healing environment, with this Four of Swords being here, being about resting and rejuvenating, but also there's a level of healing that may come with that Four of Swords energy. It may even be surgery is what I'm getting. This is going all over the place. There are different messages coming in that are being channeled with this particular message, and like I said before, my nose is itching. You could probably see my shadow on in the video, but nonetheless, you may be able to sense things. So sometimes people come to the hospital, they feel sick, and as they're being discharged, they're kind of protesting and saying, something doesn't feel right. I understand that you discharged me. I understand that you're saying that you're clearing me, right, to leave the hospital because you haven't been able to find anything. I think that you may have the capacity to sense what other people cannot find. You can see behind the veil. You can see what the technology that they have may not be able to pick up or discern, is what I'm getting. Yes, the next ancestor message that we have is beyond the mind. My eye just shifted over to it. Let me go ahead and read it. I don't think I've ever read it before, but I think it might be speaking to something that I'm heading towards. So let's read it. Beyond the mind. The mind moves us through the logistics of life so we can function in the world. However, endless mental chatter, self-doubt, limiting stories, and subconscious programs can keep us in our suffering. Step outside mind-based limitations. Looking at things in an overly logical way will hinder you and obstruct access to your superpowers. The past may be running you and making your mind spin so you cannot see what is really in front of you. Consider what your heart and your gut are telling you. What would the situation at hand feel like if you released all fears and worries? Are these concerns even yours? All right. So this kind of touches on, what I just said, but it kind of takes it in a slightly different manner. Once again, it's saying that the logical aspect of the situation, being deep in that energy, is going to hinder you from tapping into your superpowers. So once again, there is an aspect of you that needs to be touched on, looked into, accessed, even if you are in a very analytical, black and white, cut and dry type of environment. There is something about that situation that is going to, like I said before, put you a step above the rest, and it is because you have the ability to alchemize energy. But in being able to alchemize energy, you first have to recognize that there is something that needs to be alchemized, right? I have to first know that this is a negative to know that it needs to be made into a positive. And so I feel like that is where you come in. And I know all of us don't always want to have to tap into that negative energy, but it seems to be around you. And I feel like with rest, you are able to get a level of clarity of saying, all right, this is what I know, but this is how I feel. How do I reconcile the two to make them work in tandem? How do I use both the right side of my brain and the left side of my brain, which is definitely what this is showing, in order to be the most effective at what I am doing? Does that make sense? I hope it does. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot and see if it provides any additional insight into the situation. This message is going a little bit longer than I expected, but this is going to be the last set of cards that we pull. Yeah, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Whatever this talent is, whatever this ability is, whatever this capacity is, ooh, Ten of Pentacles. It is, ooh, Ten of Cups. All right. Okay. Oh, I was going to say I'm not going to pull any more cards, right? Because I've done 2 for each in the last set. I said I'm just going to look at the bottom of the deck. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Pentacles. This is where your money is. Not only your money, but your kids' money and their kids' money and the kids of those kids' money. Sheesh, have mercy. Yeah, if you are feeling tired, if you have not been resting well, we need to make the necessary shifts to conserve our energy, right? Nine of Pentacles, you have 6 Pentacles, money, time, energy, resources that you keep for yourself, and you only give 3 away. You do not exhaust yourself. That is your balance. You always keep more than enough reserves for yourself. Why? Because that is where you can tap into this intuitive energy. That is where you can tap into your temperance energy, your healing energy, your alchemizing energy, your high priestess energy, your intuition, right? Your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, going out into nature, planting your plants, tending to your garden, maybe even working with your hands. She has a bird on her head. You may very well be clairvoyant. There is some sort of messages that you're supposed to be receiving, that you may even be receiving. Some of you guys may be ignoring those messages. Others of you may not be tapping into them because you may either, one, be too exhausted with the Four of Swords and you need to rejuvenate, right? Maybe take a quick little vacation, maybe go to a vineyard, even though I know that's tomatoes. Right? Just get some rest, get away, get your mind away from whatever you're going through, maybe to give you a different perspective. She is in the garden, they are by the house, they are like in the field, a little bit away from the house, right? Outside of the city. Like, there's a need to get away from the hustle and bustle, at least for a little bit, and luxuriate is what I'm getting, for a little bit. Get into that vibration for a little bit, because it's gonna spark something within you, is what I'm getting, even though we don't have any wands out here. But I feel like it's going to bring this temperance energy, this earth angel energy. It's gonna spark that within you. It's gonna tap into that. But this may be something that is hereditary, with this Ten of Pentacles being here. This Ten of Cups is even giving me ancestors. This is something that your ancestors have bestowed upon you. So it may not be that those within your family who are living are either utilizing it or maybe utilize it effectively, right? But this is something that's being bestowed upon you so that you can build your independent wealth. The only thing that you need to focus on right now is how you balance your energy in order to maximize on this, because that is why your ancestors are bringing this to you. Alright, you guys, that is what I have for you today. If you resonate with this message, want to claim this message, were able to obtain any clarity, or found it to be helpful in any other manner, please like, share, subscribe, and feel free to share your story in the comment section. These expressions of gratitude are not only free for you, but they also allow me to develop a deeper connection to your energy. With this deeper connection, I am able to pull messages that are more aligned with your specific situation. I want to thank you guys for being here, and as promised, I have a quick message letting you know how you can save 30% on my Renew, Restore, Revitalize 40-minute distant Reiki therapy session. I hope to see you again soon. Namaste. If you look in the description box below, the very last link is labeled 30% discount link. When you select it, it will take you to the Alchemy Mystic shop, where you can purchase my distant Reiki Therapy services. The Renew, Restore, Revitalize 40-minute session will assist you with grounding and protecting your energy. More specifically, it will help to clear energetic residue associated with past traumatic experiences, allowing you to feel less triggered and positioning you to move forward in a more calm, balanced, and empowered state. This service is performed remotely at the date and time that you schedule your appointment. The service can be performed while you are conducting your everyday activities, with the exception of operating a vehicle or any heavy machinery. I look forward to serving you soon.